Hello, my name's Rick Snyderman. I'm a therapist over at the Center for Growth in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I do individual and couples therapy. I'm here today to talk to you about how to stay sober during the COVID-19 crisis. We're now entering over 100 days of this pandemic, and most of us have spent a lot of time in our homes. It can be very difficult and challenging to stay sober when things are normal, let alone now that we are somewhat isolated from either other people and other support systems that we're used to interacting with regularly. I know you can still make those phone calls and meet up with other folks for support. But today I want to talk to you about how to get out of your head, especially when you're at home, feeling confined, maybe unemployed, having a lot of time on your hands. And I know that you can make efforts to keep a routine and stay structured and communicate about feelings to others. But what can you do about staying focused in the present and out of your mind? There is a saying that goes, idle time is a devil's workshop, and that can be very true. It can lead to all kinds of things like unnecessary cravings, flashbacks of times when you were active in the addiction to kind of medicate feelings. So it can be a very challenging time right now for folks in early recovery. One of the things that have been known to be very helpful is to be as productive as you can. And when I talk about production, I don't mean anything necessarily elaborate, but just keep moving, whether that be going outside, doing some form of exercise, reading a book, cleaning up your house, engaging in those home improvement tasks that you may have been putting off for many months or even years? Or how about organizing those closets or repairing your car? There's so many things that we always put off because we never have the time. And now we might find ourselves having too much time, and this would make really good use of it. Because the more action-oriented things you can do to keep your mind off of the addiction, the better off you will be. Another thing is to perhaps journal your feelings or write them down. You may not be a person who likes to call people or talk about emotions over the phone or even talk about anything real vulnerable with family and friends. And if that is the kind of person you are, you might find a lot of benefit in just simply writing it out in a notebook or some kind of a journal. What that does is it just kind of takes all of that ruminating thought, you put it on paper, and you kind of get rid of some of those feelings by just simply getting it outside of your head. Thirdly, you could develop a hobby or re-engage in a hobby that you've already been doing but you have put off because you didn't have the time, whether that be engaging in some kind of fine art project or completing a puzzle or developing a scrapbook or making a video of your kids or whatever else. There's so many classes and things that are offered virtually now that you can become a part of for either free or a discounted price. And that will also help keep you structured and out of your head. And then the last tip I want to talk to you about is staying in the present and the here and now. The new term for this is called mindfulness. This is when we're not losing ourselves in our heads, but paying attention to our surroundings, such as our breathing, looking around the room and seeing or acknowledging what you see in the present time, here and now. What are you hearing? What are you smelling? What are you possibly tasting if you're chewing gum or eating some kind of food? So being very mindful of your senses, of your breath, of your surroundings in the here and now helps us get out of losing ourselves in our head and therefore risking a relapse. There's a saying that goes, we have to learn how to behave our way into thinking differently. Because if we think our way into behaving differently, we could be thinking for a very long time. So I wish you all good luck with this pandemic and stay sober. Thanks.